Alright, so I'm going to review The Incredible Hulk since Halloween's over, and I haven't reviewed a MCU movie in a while. The last one was Iron Man 2, so let's talk about The Incredible Hulk. So this is probably the most underrated Marvel movie. It came out in 2008. It came after Iron Man, and then Iron Man 2. I'm going in order of the timeline. I definitely want to review the other MCU movies because I'm loving the universe, even if people aren't complaining about it. And this movie definitely was complained about, but at least talked about. So it basically kind of just follows like the comic books of the Incredible Hulk. So basically, Bruce Banner, a scientist, gets blasted by gamma radiation, as shown in the opening credits, and he attacked his girlfriend, Betty Ross, and her father in the army. And because of that, he's now a wanted fugitive, and so he flees to a completely different continent, and he relaxes there with a simple working job until he's caught, and now they're basically after him as he's struggling to not turn into the Hulk himself. So the Hulk's played by Edward Norton. This is before Mark Ruffalo. I don't know why Edward Norton left playing the Incredible Hulk. I don't know why there was a recasting problem. Maybe some drama. I don't know. I gotta be honest. I think Edward Norton is pretty good as Hulk, Bruce Banner. I don't know. It just seems more like Hulk. I feel like Mark Ruffalo is more of a quirky version, since I feel like they're both completely different Hulks, even though there's like the same person in this universe. And some people were saying this movie isn't really canon to the MCU. Yeah, it is. Like, how else would we see General Ross in Civil War? And the guy who played General Ross, he's basically the villain in this. I thought he was okay. I know the actor passed away recently. Rest in peace. I wish we could have saw him in She-Hulk, but he was but I don't know. I don't know when they were filming She-Hulk. But what I really like about this movie is the story. I like how intense it is. Like, it feels different from what we saw in Iron Man, where it's about Iron Man, who's this playboy who's really just selfish, and then after getting into the accident, he then becomes Iron Man. But in this, it's more about a cat and mouse type story. And so Hulk then basically does get caught because his blood samples was investigated, and now he has to go on the run. He even gets into a fight with a few random goons as he's getting chased by the government as they track him. I think they even kill Hulk's dog, and that dog was cool. He was a cool dog, and I like the part where the criminals think they're gonna win in a fight and just mug Bruce, but then Bruce becomes Hulk, and then when the one dude tries kicking him, he smashes his entire leg because he's Hulk now, the Incredible Hulk. And so the way Hulk looks in this is completely different from what we see him later in like Avengers, since the CGI is definitely a lot of work. Probably he looks more suited for what he looked back then. It's not like the best CGI we see in the MCU, since it's more hard, since they're making so many projects and they have so much money probably to make these special effects happen. But back then they probably put all their in for this. And later he also texts this guy outside of the country. His name is Mr. Blue. He's later revealed in the movie later, and we never see him again in this movie for some reason. I think he's returning later in other projects, but it's been 14, 13 years since we saw this character. He did appear in a comic book tie-in to this, but that's about it. But I think he's gonna become leader, and honestly, they did the Incredible Hulk 2, he probably would have been in it. And the other villain we do see in this is Abomination. Now, I didn't really care for Abomination in this movie, The guy who played him, Tim Ross. I was always wondering, the one scene where Hulk is finally caught by the government and they're trying to get him, and they use like these sound things to take down Hulk, and then Tim Ross just lunges at the Hulk and he gets his face smashed, and then later in the movie he gets injected with super soldier serum, and then he becomes the Abomination, and then it's the showdown, and then after that we never see Abomination again until She-Hulk. And I really like Abomination in She-Hulk. He made me think a lot more about Abomination, and he was like very relatable in that show. But in this movie, I just didn't really feel anything when seeing him. It feels like we got two Hulks just punching each other. Some people said Abomination was green in this movie. I don't know. He looks more light brown, in my opinion. And then later in Shang-Chi, he's green. So that's change, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, this movie is a lot better than I remember. It's not my favorite MCU movie. I love other movies like Endgame, Captain America movies. Like, this movie was definitely, I don't think it's like the worst. Some people say it's the worst. I don't think it is. To be honest, I'd probably give this movie like a 7 like a low 7 out of 10. It was definitely better than Iron Man 2, since I didn't really think that movie really went anywhere. But this movie was definitely entertaining, for sure. I like the casting, somewhat unknown, but they're more popular now, I guess. Like Betty Ross, we haven't seen her either. We saw her in What If, but that was an alternate universe. But my main problem with this movie is it's kind of just forgettable. Like, you kind of watch it, but you think it's, okay, that was cool, and then it kind of just fades away. And the characters, they seem to MCU just doesn't seem to really care about these characters other than the Hulk. But then when She-Hulk finally came, we see characters like Abomination. But at least they probably got so many plans. Like, we can literally see anything coming. You just have to wait and see, I guess. So that's my thoughts on The Incredible Hulk. So what do you think of this movie? Is this your favorite MCU movie? I couldn't imagine if it is. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.